Hey guys, what's up? Apologize that it's a little late. I also apologize that I'm a hot fucking mess. It has been a week and it has been a day. Not that this is the point of this live, but whatever. This is like therapy for me a little bit, I guess. So, for those who don't know, a couple weeks ago, my husband brought home a 5 week old baby kitty that was about this big, maybe this big. And that little guy has had the most traumatic life so far. Like most kittens and most puppies, he had a lot of intestinal parasites. I know that sounds super icky, but it's very, very common. They almost all have them. But unfortunately for our little guy, he had so many that he developed what's called an intussusception. And that basically means that your intestines are telescoping in on themselves. And so, not quite a week ago yet, he had to go in for some pretty emergency surgery. They had to go in and basically undo all of his intestines. And then they had to actually resect a bunch of it and take a bunch of it out. And so, since then, it's been like a roller coaster with this kid. Like, we'll have a really great day, and then he won't want to eat or do anything. And it's a really great day, and then he won't want to eat or do anything. And so, I don't care what your opinion is. I may not have human children, but they are my children, and I am a mom, and I am stressed the fuck out. And on top of that, our primary assholes in our family, it's three of our dogs. Hey, Lisa. Um, they really like, okay, I'm sure you've all seen the meme of Bilbo with the, I'm going on an adventure. Okay, well, that's what these fuckers do all the time. And they find and create weak spots because we're renting our house here. And so the fences, like, they're all shared fences. So, like, our neighbor on one side, really great fence. Neighbor on the other side, shitty fence. Neighbor that backs up, shitty fence. And so we keep putting, like, chicken wire over stuff and trying to prevent it. And today, I was on a call for about an hour and realized towards the beginning of my call, it's the same three every time. For those who know me, it's Rhett, Remy, and Allie. Allie's the culprit. Y'all, there's a hole in the fence that they made that's like this big. I swear to you, it's that big. Why is that important? Because they're between 60 and 65 pounds. But they got through it. So I spent 2 hours driving around our neighborhood trying to find them. That's my day. It's not why you're here. Sorry, but not sorry. Anyway, so what I wanted to just actually talk to you guys pretty quickly today is I have been in the process of creating a mastermind, and what I'm basically going to be doing is I'm going to be officially launching the beta for it in August. And what I found out, which I kind of already knew, but one of the groups I'm in is it's a branding designer group, and it just hit me really hard a few weeks ago. People are, asking questions, and we're providing feedback and resources. When you decide to become an entrepreneur, no one hands you a handbook and goes, Entrepreneurship 101, you're welcome. You just kind of have to tread water and flounder around until you figure shit out. I was crazy lucky that one of my best friends is a badass businesswoman and mentor and coach. And so I didn't realize how much I wasn't floundering until I saw other people and then I was even more lucky than that because 6 months in, I got a paid apprenticeship at a creative agency, and I learned a shit ton there. So, things like, for example, and this is what's called legal schmeagle. Did you know that if you have a website, you are legally, locally, and federally required to have a privacy policy on your site? Did you know that? Because you are. That's not just like a recommendation. The FTC requires that because people have to be able to have access. And actually, I should clarify, it's if you have a site that collects data. Your site collects data, yeah? Particularly if you have someone signing up for an email, if they can send you something through a contact form, if they can purchase, that's all collecting data. And so you are legally required to provide that privacy policy. A lot of people don't know that. Same thing with terms and conditions, in the sense that, not that it's required, but people don't know. It's not legally required, but you'd be silly not to have it. The privacy policy is, again, it's what's required by the FTC, and it lets people know that you're not going to sell their data, you're not going to use it, you're not going to do anything crazy. I know, Lisa, we should talk. We should talk about that. But the other thing with the terms and conditions, that's a big CYA. If you don't know what CYA, cover your ass thing. Terms and conditions is a legal document that, and this is crazy to me that this is how this works. But if you didn't know this, when you visit a site and they have a terms and conditions policy, just by being on that site, you actually have agreed to abide by their terms and conditions. You can be legally held responsible for that, even though you didn't sign anything. And the reason that becomes important, particularly for those of us that do have a website, which if you don't have one and you're selling something, we should talk, because you need a website. So the terms and conditions, some of the for example, here are some of the things it protects. If I post a project that I've just completed, someone's branding, and someone else decides to take that picture off my website and claim it as their own, I have legal recourse, because part of the terms and conditions is that you can't take anything from my site without my express permission. Would it be a pain in the ass to pursue? Of course it would. But the point is that if I needed to take legal recourse, I could. So terms and conditions, it's kind of, number one rule is, just plan for the worst, because it's so much better when it comes to legal stuff, documents and policies and contracts. Y'all, it's so much better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Which leads me to contracts. And yes, Lisa, I will message you as soon as I'm done here and we can set up a Zoom. With contracts, if you're service-based and you don't have a contract, you really, really should. Even if you think you'll never need it, what I found and what I hear about all the time, and it breaks my heart, especially when people are first starting, is so frequently people get screwed over by friends and family. And I know that sounds really pessimistic, but you think you don't need a contract, and the very person you think you don't need one for sometimes ends up being exactly who you need it for. And again, it's a CYA moment. My contract has developed and will continue to develop because, like a lot of other things, as soon as I run into a situation that I don't ever want to deal with again, guess what happens? I update my fucking contract. Yeah, my contract is now and this amalgam, right, of yes, I started with a template, but then I grabbed this piece from this person with permission, of course, and this from this person, and then as I encountered things, my VA, Katie, who's in this group, and she's bomb, she and I went through and even did more things in there, because again, just encountering things that I don't ever want to deal with again, and so it's in my contract. And that being said, I would highly encourage you, for those of you that do use contracts, and if you are not using them, when you start using them, I would really encourage you to have some sort of a, whether it's a welcome packet or it's a welcome email or video is just so great now. That's one of the things that I've started doing with my new clients is I've decided not to do a full-blown welcome packet because I don't want to read that if someone gives it to me, so why would I give it to someone else? But what I do have is I have that initial kind of email that just sort of lays the groundwork and the timeline and everything else. But then I'm actually also going in and going through and giving them a link to a Loom recording. Loom is an app, Loom. And basically what Loom allows you to do, it allows you to screen record, right? So you can actually record just your camera, you can record your desktop and your camera, or just your desktop. And so what that allows me to do is then to go through and highlight the points of the contract, because we don't read contracts. Like, the really smart people do, but the vast majority of us skim it and sign, which is so stupid, and I'm including myself in that. But there are those things that I want to make just 1,000,000% sure that they've read it and they know it's in there, so that it doesn't have to come up later. Because even if they've signed a contract, they didn't read it, and you're like, well, but in our contract, they're still going to get pissed at you. You're still going to be right, but no one's going to be happy, right? You don't want to shy away from that. You want to make sure that you and your client are crystal clear on the expectations you have of each other when it comes to your working relationship. So, legal stuff. If you have a website, get a privacy policy, get a terms and condition. If that's something that you're interested in, I have, straight up, it's an affiliate link, but it's an affiliate. I don't really do affiliate stuff unless I really, really, really support what it is. and you can go check it out for yourself if you like. But it's the lawyer, her attorney. Her name is Paige Hulse, Hulse, and her website is the Creative Law Shop. And so she has contract templates for it's creative stuff, right? But she also does privacy policies and terms and conditions, and I can get you an affiliate link and get you a little bit of a discount if you're interested. But if not, there are plenty of things you can search for, even if you just get the most basic of templates. Of course, I cannot provide legal advice. I am not an attorney, so I am not doing that for you. But even if you just do a basic one, right, you need those things. Not just to protect your clients, but to protect you, and that's super crucial. And then if you're doing work with clients and you're service-based in particular, get a contract, boo. Do it. I don't care who you're doing work with. Get a contract. And always envision the worst case scenario, which I know, again, it sounds pessimistic, but you're only doing that once, right? So when you're thinking about, like, again, I'm going to use Lisa because she's on here live, and she said, she was thinking about having her pro bono clients sign them. I would absolutely do that because you always want to prepare. And unfortunately, and Lisa, this probably doesn't apply to your clients because of the work that you do, but if you're doing anything for free or for trading of services, I would tell you that you need a contract even more than your full paying clients. Because it is literally proven, it is basically a fact that clients that are looking for a handout, looking for a deal, looking for a freebie, y'all, they are the most high maintenance people. It's insane to me. It's insane that people who don't want to pay full value expect 10 times what they're paying for. But that's just the way it rolls. So if you're doing business, you need a contract. And especially to protect you, because everyone now just threatens to sue. Everyone's so sue happy, it's ridiculous. So that's my legal stuff for today. Privacy policy, terms and conditions, that goes on your website. Contract, that's for you, right? That's for you. Oh, and P.S., if you're service-based and you start work without getting a monetary deposit, I need you to drive to where I live so I can smack you. I love you, but I'm going to smack you, okay? Don't ever do work without a deposit, y'all. Don't do that, okay? Because you're just going to end up getting screwed in the end. And again, I'm going to go back to this, even if it's friends and family, and I'm going to say this little tidbit, and then I'm going to be done. The people that support you, your tribe, they want to pay you. They want to see you be successful. If it's your best friend in the whole wide world or it's your mom, like I've had friends that have come to me and I've done work, and actually one of my best friends who was in my wedding, I created branding for her and a brand new website, and she's like, don't you dare discount. Tell me what it is, right? Because she owns her own business. And I'm the same for her. She owns a studio. When I'm in town and I go take one of her adult classes, I don't ask to get in for free. I pay because I want her business to be successful. So if you've got people that are a little bit iffy but hey, I'm family. Nah, cut that. Yeah, because again, if people, and I'm sorry if I'm triggering anybody, but if they really support you and they want you to be successful, then they're going to want to pay you and they're going to want to make sure they do their part. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or send me a DM. If you think you might be interested in the mastermind that I'm doing, you can, I'm going to tell you right now that I am being very, very particular at who's in the beta. That doesn't mean it can't be you, but I'm being very particular. And so if you're interested in that, basically what that's going to be is it's going to be primarily creatives, but it doesn't mean it can't be other people. But it's not about what you do. It's about the business side of things. It's about mentioning what I said earlier. No one has an entrepreneurial handbook. So it's about that aspect of it. It's covering some of the very things that we covered just now. And then it's talking about welcome packets and communicating with clients and deliverables and all those kinds of things that are the business side, because you already know how to do what you're doing, right? I don't need to teach you that, or at least not for this mastermind. Yeah, that's something different. So I'm not teaching someone how to be a designer or a photographer. I'm teaching you the things you need to know to run your business effectively. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, please feel free to shoot me a DM and we can chat about and see if that's a good fit for you. And other than that, I will talk to you guys later. Peace.